In this video, I'll be revealing the simple fix that transformed a client of mine's retirement income at age 60 from uncertain cash flow to predictable income streams. Through discovering this strategy when their retirement plan felt shaky, despite having substantial savings, I firsthand saw that most retirement problems aren't solved by saving more money. They're solved by withdrawing smarter. And that's exactly why I'm making this video today, to show you the withdrawal sequence fix that creates smooth retirement income and why focusing on income order matters more than net worth. Let's get right into it. I want to introduce you to a client of ours that we'll refer to as Mike. Mike was a 6-year-old single retired manager who reached out to us because he felt uneasy despite having built $1.2 million worth of nest eggs through diligent savings and smart investing over the years. Mike had done everything the financial rulebooks told him to do. He maxed out his 401k. He paid off his mortgage early. He avoided that consumer debt trap, and he kept his expenses very modest. But even with all that discipline, Mike found himself lying awake at night, staring at his account balances, really worried. He felt something he'd never experienced before once he got closer to retirement: fear. Not because he didn't have enough, but because he didn't know how to use what he'd built. The thought of turning savings into income felt like standing at the edge of a cliff with no guardrail there. Yet now, with retirement so close on the horizon, he found himself overwhelmed by one major question: where does the paycheck come from now? And that's the heart of the problem that I see in so many retirees. They've been trained for years to focus on accumulating wealth, watching their net worth grow over time. But they've rarely been shown how to translate that pile of assets into a consistent, stress-free stream of income for the rest of their life. This is what a lot of people call the net worth distraction. Even when you hit that savings target, that balance, it doesn't translate into monthly retirement paychecks. Portfolio values are constantly fluctuating with the market, but your grocery bills, your property taxes, and your healthcare premiums, they stay the same. When retirees stress over portfolio balances and they ignore withdrawal strategies, that anxiety, it never goes away. Mike's situation was textbook. He had the money, but no structure for pulling it out efficiently. And that left him constantly questioning if he could actually afford to retire. This realization hit him hard. For the first time, he wasn't worried about the stock market or the news or the headlines. He was worried about himself. He realized that retirement success was not about growing wealth anymore. It was about controlling his cash flow. That net worth focus that he used to have, it created uncertainty. But the withdrawal sequencing fix that we showed him through our Red Zone retirement planning process, that reveals how income order transforms retirement cash flow. This is where the Red Zone retirement planning process came to life for him. With Mike, after we mapped out his assets and his income, it became crystal clear. He didn't need more money. He needed a smarter order of income withdrawals. So we broke his retirement plan into 3 clear phases that matched his lifestyle and his timeline. Phase 1 was laying the foundation, building that guaranteed income source to cover his needs in retirement. We started covering those needs first, the must-haves. Think taxes, food, shelter, clothing, insurance. Mike's goal was really simple. I want to make sure that the lights stay on and that the fridge stays full and that my bills get paid no matter what happens. So what we did is that we locked in guaranteed income for him to cover his needs. We maximized his Social Security, and we strategically timed the withdrawal that when we claimed that to get the most lifetime value. He had a little small pension, which helped with stability for him. And we also implemented a fixed annuity for him that we layered on top of those things to increase his guaranteed income in retirement. This is the foundation that gave Mike what every retiree really wants: permission to spend. Because when your basic needs are covered by guaranteed income sources, every dollar above that becomes freedom, not fear. Part number 2, phase 2 here, was designing flexibility for him. This is where we organized the wants that he had in retirement to be covered by variable income sources. So once the needs were taken care of, we moved on to the wants. These wants were to fund his travel, his hobbies, his gifts, and what he called his memories. So we organized Mike's retirement investments into 3 different phases: the go-go years, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. And what we did was take around 40% of his assets to fund a little bit over the first 10 years of his retirement, the go-go years. This portfolio was very conservative, designed for stability and immediate income to him. His slow-go money, the second portfolio, wasn't going to be accessed for over 10 years. So we took a moderate level of risk here to try to beat inflation We took 35% of his assets and moved it into that portfolio. This consisted of stocks and bonds, giving room for growth while staying accessible if life changed for him. And the no-go funds, the third bucket that we created for him, that was 20 years out. This was to really cover the increased cost of inflation over time and healthcare costs in his later years. That final 25% went into a long-term, aggressive equity-focused portfolio because we weren't going to touch it for over 20 years. By aligning each bucket with a distinct phase in retirement, Mike could see exactly where every dollar was going to be and where it would come from in the future. And more importantly, visually, that clarity for him replaced years of anxiety and it gave him peace of mind. The third and final phase was actually timing the withdrawals and optimizing all of this plan for taxes. So with his income sources organized for the needs and the wants, we moved on to this phase because even the best investment plan can crumble if withdrawals aren't tax efficient. So here's what we did. We drew from some of his taxable accounts first to preserve the growth inside of his IRA and more importantly, his Roth. We delayed that Social Security until 67, which boosted his benefit by over 25% for him versus taking it early. We executed strategic Roth conversions right away during those low income years to reduce that future tax bomb because of his required minimum distributions, lowering his Medicare surcharges as well in the future. Each move that we had a purpose: smoother cash flow, lower taxes, greater lifetime control. When all three of these phases came together, Mike finally felt what every retiree is searching for: predictable income without panic. He could see where every dollar was coming from, when it would arrive, how long it would last, and for the first time since retiring, his question shifted from "can I afford to retire?" to "where should I go next?" Withdrawal sequencing, that creates predictability. But this tax optimization benefit that I want to talk to you about, this shows how smart withdrawals reduce the government's claims on your wealth over your entire life. For many retirees, taxes are the hidden threat that drains their income faster than they thought. You see, Mike had no idea that taking all his income from the tax-deferred account first would push him into a higher tax bracket, trigger higher Social Security taxes, and increase his Medicare premiums. By planning properly through our process, we avoided all of that for him. Here's what we did. Those small Roth conversions, again, we did it first off when his income was low in retirement, locking in those low tax brackets. We smoothed out his income to prevent tax spikes that would trigger those higher penalties by doing this in the future. We managed his income to minimize the taxes on Social Security, and we saved thousands in unnecessary taxes each and every year, and even more over the long term. This tax efficiency gave Mike the potential for a greater return than any market gain could promise through tax savings. Instead of riding the market roller coaster, hoping for big wins, he now had a strategy that kept more money in his pocket. So now that you understand this tax optimization benefit that we used, if you're curious about your specific situation, I've created a detailed questionnaire that analyzes your exact circumstances. And after you finish it, I'll send you a personalized video showing you how we can implement these strategies inside of your plan. If you just click the link in the description below, fill out the quiz, and then I'll personally send you that video. And if you're someone who likes to get things moving faster, just comment "book" in the comments. When you do that, we'll reach out to you and get you a free copy of our Red Zone Retirement Plan book. This is no obligation. I just want to give you some clarity in your retirement. Let's move on to healthcare. This is one of the most underestimated costs that people have in retirement. It often even grows faster than inflation from what I've seen. And for Mike, we used income management to keep his modified adjusted income low enough below the threshold that would increase those IRMAA Medicare premiums for him. By doing this, we avoided those surcharges. These extra premiums that he could have possibly triggered can add over thousands of dollars per year to his Medicare Part B and D cost. So over 20 years, that can add up really fast for people if you don't pay attention. Some key strategies that you need to think about and that we think about in our process is pulling from Roth accounts, possibly in some higher income years, because that doesn't count towards your modified adjusted gross income. Time your withdrawals to avoid crossing tax brackets. Crossing up tax brackets, that is. Maintain a steady, predictable income that gives you peace of mind over the long term. Doing this, it preserved Mike's cash flow for him, and it made healthcare affordability for decades to come possible for him. You see, for Mike, it wasn't about saving on premiums alone. It was about peace of mind. He finally felt like he could enjoy his mornings again without worrying about surprise costs or letters from Medicare about higher premiums. Medicare preservation, that protects your cash flow. But the RMD preparation that we use for Mike, that strategy shows how early planning can prevent future tax bombs. You see, Mike didn't want to turn 73 and be hit with a massive tax bill from those required minimum distributions. So we planned in advance. We reduced his traditional IRA balances early in his retirement because we did those Roth conversions. That increased his Roth holdings that didn't have RMDs attached to them. We created a conversion schedule for him each and every year based upon today's tax environment. And then we also plan to use qualified charitable distributions for him once he turns 70 and a half to even offset that future RMD even more. Being proactive with this, it prevented him from being pushed into higher tax brackets later. And more importantly, it preserved his control over his money. RMD preparation, it prevents future problems. But comprehensive income organization like we use in our process, this shows you how you can integrate all of these strategies together. This is the full picture, where everything comes together under the Red Zone retirement planning umbrella. Mike's plan wasn't just about investment returns or tax rates. It was about total alignment. Guaranteed income to cover his needs. Variable income adjusted for lifestyle and flexibility through 3 phases in retirement: go-go, slow-go, and no-go years. His plan evolved with him through every retirement phase. Our system is a system that adapted to tax law changes each and every year, market movements as well, and of course, any life events that are thrown at you in retirement. We need to balance today's income with tomorrow's tax efficiency. We minimize costly mistakes from one-off decisions through our process as well. This coordination gave Mike more than just a budget in retirement. It gave him confidence, clarity, and control over his financial future. And that's exactly what the Red Zone retirement planning process is all about. Today, Mike's mornings look a heck of a lot different. He checks his income report just once a month. Then he heads out to the golf course many days of the week, not straight to his computer to check his investment balances. His bills automatically paid because his income is stable right now. And for the first time in years, his money, it feels like it's working for him, not the other way around. So now that you understand this simple fix that can transform your retirement from uncertain cash flow to predictable income, and how withdrawal sequence organization matters more than just your net worth, you're able to create a smooth retirement income plan that enables confident spending. But if you're still curious about how this income organization approach through our Red Zone retirement planning process could work for you, I've created a detailed questionnaire in the description of the video. After you do it, we'll analyze your circumstances, and I'll send you a personalized video showing you exactly how to optimize your retirement plan for a smooth and predictable income stream in retirement. I'll see you on the next video.